guys, this is ZonalFear, ET Gaming. Today I want to have a quick chat with you about something that I feel is going to become more important in the fairly near future. And that is Game of the Year editions of games and its variations. So Ultimate Edition, Rapture editions for the Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. So the time is coming where eventually the console manufacturers, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo recently announced that the Wii U is ending its online functionality, where the companies involved are going to decide that there is no longer commercially viable to have these digital storefronts and essentially close down sort of online services for games. This means quite a big thing actually for at least game preservation. So if you already own the digital content, there's a fairly high chance that you're going to be able to, at the very least, access that content somehow. However, if you're new to the game, there's going to be no real way you're going to be able to buy this stuff, at least the digital content, without having access to one of these that you see in front of you. So these are the Game of the Years, Ultimate Editions and so forth of PS3 games. The Xbox 360 games, also the same. So at some point, the only way you're going to be able to access this this extra content is by owning something like this. Right now, they're dirt cheap. So Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, which you can see there so slightly on the left-hand side, that cost me a fiver from a well-known UK game retailer, second-hand game retailer who really like recycling. Bioshock and Bioshock 2, the Ultimate Rapture Edition, which features all the DLC released for 1 and 2, cost me around a tenner. And Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, which I can't recall how much that was exactly. It was a few quid, it wasn't an awful lot. But this is going to be the only way you're going to be able to actually get the additional content for these games when these digital stores eventually close down. I think this is going to mean one thing mostly, and that is the prices of these things are going to shoot up quite considerably as people new to the games are going to want the additional content, and this is going to be the only way to source it. If you have even a passing interest in Xbox 360 and PS3 game collection, now's the time to pick these up. A lot of these games can be had fairly cheap right now. Even Fallout New Vegas with all of the extra stuff, which is a bit more pricier in terms of PS3 and Xbox 360 game prices, will set you back around 20 quid, which I feel that that's something that's only going to increase. It's going to be important to pick these up now because you don't want to pay too much money for them later on down the line. Now, while the non-Game of the Year editions of the games sold quite well, of all three of these games actually, well, 4 I suppose if you include the fact that Bioshock is 1 and 2, while all of these games sold fairly well in their physical form when they first released, they do not include the additional content that these games include. And I think that's going to be the difference between paying £1 for a copy of Bioshock 2 or paying 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds for a copy of Bioshock 2 with all of the additional content. It's a real shame that I feel this is where game preservation in regards to Xbox 360 and PS3 is going. Microsoft have announced that the Xbox 360 store is closing down sometime next year, I believe. I want to say July 24. Someone, if I'm wrong, someone can correct me in the comments on that. But they have said that you're still going to be able to have access to the content you've bought. You simply will not be able to buy, at the very least, the 360 specific content, not the backwards compatible stuff, the 360 specific content from the digital store when they close down next year. Nintendo have announced that there's going to be a cessation of all online Wii U and 3DS services. I think that was announced yesterday actually. And I think that this is where that generation of consoles is now going. Time is ticking for these machines and their ability to play online and purchase and things like that. And right now, I feel it would be prudent if you have so much as a passing interest in collection of that particular era to spend a little bit more now on the digital content that's included with a lot of these discs. One thing to note, when you go purchasing these games, ensure that the digital content which is included with them is actually on the disc. So you can't see it right now, but I bought the Batman Arkham collection unknowingly and without checking which includes merely Batman Arkham Origins on the disc, with the other two provided by digital voucher, which, again, fine if you've already redeemed it and have access to it, but if you're coming into the game new, it's going to be a problem because you're not going to be able to access that stuff. Well, that's all I really wanted to say today. If you have so much as a passing interest in this, I'm going to say retro at this point. Some of these machines are coming up to 20 years old. Can you believe that? But if you have so much as a passing interest in collection for this generation of consoles, my advice to you would be to do it now while it's still relatively dirt cheap, rather than pay for it in the future. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for taking the time to watch and listen to my video. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.